This is the Coin Show Podcast. The show about coins and coin collecting. And not just any show. This is the #1 coin collecting podcast. Going 10 years strong. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman on the Coin Show Podcast.
It is episode 173 of the Coin Show Podcast. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Al?
On this episode of the Coin Show Podcast, we are going to do your coolest things.
I'm so excited for this. It's huge.
One of Matt's favorites, always. We're going to answer any listener questions that come about. We got a couple of chats going in Facebook and YouTube. Excuse me. And we got some business to take care of as far as what's going on with my pink hair. But first, as always, the news.
Now for one of my favorite parts of this show. Who's the news brought to you by?
The news is brought to you by trash cans. Quite possibly the most positive item in the world, taking all of your garbage year after year and never saying a word. And after all that, it's a trash can, not a trash can't. Let that be an example for everyone. Trash cans.
Oh, I love it. Trash cans.
That's right. It's It's a trash can, not a trash can.
Wow.
So, Matt, we have, last time we broke news.
Yeah.
Right? Well, guess what?
What?
We've got more breaking news. Lots more of it.
You're breaking all sorts of stuff left and right.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing I tell you is that when news breaks, don't look at us to clean it up. That's all I'm asking. So, right. So, this last time on I think it was the Coin Show Podcast, we reported that new designs were decided upon for the new silver, American Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, where is? And go with me for just a second.
Oh, I'll bear with you, buddy.
Yeah.
You've lost it. You brought it, you had it, and then you lost it.
Find it. Yeah. So anyway, the United States Mint is releasing the design artwork for the new silver and gold American Eagles in 2021, has also announced that the design change will take place mid-year.
Mid-year? So they're...
Mid-year, yes.
Are they going to make both or none for a while? Or
well, here you go. The Mint released designs on October 1st, but updated an article on their website October 21st. And I'm assuming that this is when it became public knowledge. Okay?
Okay.
So to all of us who assumed that the new year would bring new designs, new year, new designs.
Okay.
This also means that my fantasy of a muled coin isn't even possible.
Yeah.
Because basically they're going to make mules for 6 months.
Right. Huh.
So while I don't know if that even weighed into the Mint decision, it is a negative for collectors of Mint errors. And this decision is more likely based on the lead time necessary to create the dies and get the coins struck for January 1st delivery. Because they really just approved the designs.
Yeah.
So now you got to get the dies cut and all that stuff for huge orders. It's not like they can deliver 100,000 Eagles on, January 1st.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to deliver 30 million, so maybe the Mint will get wise to the fact that this is now effectively doubling the potential offerings in bullion coins for a year if they desire.
Or maybe that was the plan all along.
Well, here's the thing.
Saying.
I don't know. So it's hybrided. Next year's Proof Silver American Eagles will be made with both designs at West Point. But San Francisco will only produce the second reverse. But if they wanted to, they could release both and have 4 Proof Silver American Eagles next year.
Sounds terribly disorganized, but I'm sure there's methods to the madness.
That's our Mint at work. But, the point is that, here's... they're doing this. This is happening more by accident than anything else, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure it's an accident, but poor planning would be the better Might be a better answer.
Well, this is more a product of their process, is what I'm saying. In that everything has to be directed and everything has deadlines, and because of COVID, the wheels of things have turned slower this year, and because of that, they were like, you know what, we're not going to rush it. We'll just deliver them mid-year, and we'll do 2 different designs. And somebody said, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good idea, because now here's what we can do. And it's like 4 proof Silver Eagles, and
now we can just charge
we're
people.
only going to do 1 burnished.
Now we can get these suckers for twice as much. That's what I feel like it is.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm just saying. Speaking of what?
I said Lissai.
Yeah, Lissai. Pepe Le Pew.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of San Francisco Proof Eagles, the 2020s that went on sale October 13th are already sold out.
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
200,000 coins gone in less than 2 weeks. And this right after raising the price on the Eagles to $73 per.
Yep. They raised a bunch of prices and a lot of stuff sold quickly.
Well, yeah, but there's a $48 premium on that coin on a Proof Silver Eagle.
I got it. Seems like they're just bumping the prices up as much as the market will tolerate, and obviously the market, being that they sold out in 2 weeks, will tolerate $73 right now. So
yes, and some of these are going to flippers, and some of them are going to actual collectors, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
They made enough of them. 200,000 is enough to satisfy pretty much anybody that wanted one could get it.
Yeah, I agree.
But you had to want it, which means you had to be on top of it.
Right. Yeah, you had to jump on it. It looks like you had a little window there to buy them, and now they're gone again. So
yeah, just like the window that we had to buy Silver Proof sets when we found out that they were going to raise the price, but we had a couple of days lead time.
Yep. I bought some.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too. I was very happy. As a matter of fact, there'll be a video coming soon.
Ooh, fancy.
Coin shortage? We ain't got no coin shortage. The United States Mint has produced over 1 billion coins for circulation in September, marking the 4th straight month of 10-figure production.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. Now, there is bad news, though, as over half of the nearly 1.5 billion coins produced last month were cents at a cost of 1.99 cents to each.
Well,
each.
Can't
over
win them all.
90% are nickels, which also cost more than face value to produce. So there is right in that 70% of the coins were produced at a loss.
Huh. Well, when they're getting $73 a piece for Proof Silver Eagles, they're just fine, right?
Well, a little from this one, a little from Peter to pay Paul. You know how it goes.
Yeah. It's the government for you.
It may also be interesting to note that the Weir Farm, America the Beautiful quarters have a relatively middling mintage. So it's ranked 22nd at 280,600 coins, or 600,000 coins. 280,600,000 coins.
I was going to say, that's not an upper bike.
Sorry, I have some horrendous, sorry. And the Salt River Bay, which is the very next design produced, may be the Virginia quarter of this series, with almost 1.1 billion coins produced with this design.
Yikes, bikes. That's a bunch.
Yeah, so 280 million, and then the very next one is 1.1 billion.
Wow.
But you have the W Mint quarter mintages. They remain at 2 million coins each.
I like those still. I still don't hate them. I think they're going to be collectible. They're going to be a premium coin. They're not going to be super rare or worth a ton of money, but $5 or $10 or $15 bucks.
Because there's 2 million of each of them, right?
Yeah, but $5 or $10 or $15, even like right now, is probably still what they're worth.
Well, let me ask you this: how many 09S VDVs are there?
A couple 100,000.
How many 14Ds are there?
I don't know the mentions off the top of my head, Mike.
Pretty good. 14D is like 1.1 million, something like that.
I got you.
In comparison, they're going to be scarce.
But that's one of the most popular sets, and you're talking about a set here where they've completely ran it into the ground for the last 20 years. So
yeah, but I think these W Mint quarters are winners. I really do. If you're looking at it and saying, these may not be so bad, think about how hardened you are against modern coinage.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that they have a broader appeal than people give them credit for. And I think that given time, it's just one of those things where people may collect this stuff, kind of like we collect the classic commemorative series now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't
we'll
like to
go back, and there'll be some that'll collect just the designs that they like the Hawaii volcanoes, which is beautiful.
I don't like to speculate on that stuff. I never have.
No, but I'm just saying that the opportunities are there. That's all.
Oh, sure. I mean, if you can pick them up for $5 or $10 or $15 a piece, I agree with you that that's not a bad price. It's not something I would spend my life savings on, of course, but...
Oh, God, no. No, but I mean, here's the thing is it's fun because you can actually still collect this from change. You get this...
Yep.
You get the opportunity to have the same thrill that your grandfather did, that my father did.
Yep. I got I got it in quarter and change.
In change.
I got it in change. I wasn't even looking for it. I just got one. So,
what was it? Which one?
I don't even remember. I think it was maybe War in the Pacific, one of the early ones.
Okay. So, yeah, it's really interesting. So today I had to make a bank deposit, and since I went into the bank, I asked the teller, I'm like, "Hey, do you have any rolls of brand new quarters?" And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, I don't know if these are brand new, but here." And she pulls 2 rolls of the newest quarter out. I'm like, "Yeah, those are brand new." She's like, "Yeah, I can sell you 2 of them." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, thanks.
So I got 2 rolls, took them home, opened them up. In each one of them was a W quarter.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so 2 for 2 on rolls. So I went back, talked her into giving me 2 more, and 0 for 2 on those.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how random it is?
Yeah, it's just at random. So these are the Marsh Billings Rockefeller National Park from Vermont.
Yeah.
It's about land stewardship. And these are beautiful P mint coins, which, in Chicago we get a mix. We get some P's, some D's.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to report that. So I actually have been collecting the W mint quarters.
Well, it's because you love modern coins, and that's just your bag.
I do. Yeah, that's just my thing.
It's your bag, buddy.
Nobody cares about them, so it's one of the things as a dealer I can collect, and it doesn't matter.
That's true. We've talked about this.
NGC has now certified and encapsulated the largest Chinese panda commemoratives ever produced.
What are they?
5 kilo gold coins. They have over $300,000 each in gold value.
Yay.
Yeah, they were encapsulated in NGC mega holders. Apparently, sewer covers will be next.
And spare tires.
Yes, I mean, I'm just saying, 5 kilo gold coins. So here's one of the things I love about this story, right? So check out the story if you look into it. It says that these are numbered. The coins are numbered.
Okay.
And they're numbered 1 through, I think they're 1 through 7.
So it's the first 7.
Well, no, it's the first 6.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
And they have no number 3, and it's actually 5 because there's no number 3 coin. Because number 3 is unlucky in China.
What?
Yeah. So here's the thing: is that you have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Gotta love superstition.
Yeah. Well, here's the great part about it: is if you're that superstitious, would you buy the 4th one?
Well, no, they didn't.
Because when it gets down to it, it's the 3rd one.
They were so superstitious they didn't even make it. So
no, yes, but the 4th one is still the 3rd one. It's like those buildings that don't have a 13th floor. I don't care. The 14th is still the 13th floor.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The Russian Federation has released 2020 commemorative coins to honor frontline heroes, kind of. The 25 rubles honors health workers.
Okay.
And the 10 rubles coin honors transportation workers. The coins are made of base metal, so I'm assuming that they were meant to circulate, but there's not much information available from these articles or at this time. I'm kind of unsure how money works in a socialist country. Keep your politics to yourself. But I think the main difference is ownership. So I think day-to-day transactions for goods and services are really similar to, the way things work here. So, it's I think, going to be a circulating coin. But I think that would be so funny. It would be the clad $50 of
the Russian economy.
Yeah, of the Russian economy.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's they're putting out coins to honor their frontline workers.
Good
I think
for
it's
them.
noble. What's the U.S. Mint doing?
Changing the Eagles. Kind of.
PCGS banknote has graded the finest known 1890 grand watermelon note.
Did anybody just have a story about this not too long ago?
Maybe. The notes were created under the Sherman Silver Purchase Act, or the Legal Tender Act of 1890, which mandated a purchase of 4.5 million ounces of silver every month for the purpose of minting coins with which to back banknotes. So they were created to pay for the silver to make coins, and could be recalled at the discretion of the Treasury Secretary. The note gets its nickname from the zeros on the back. It's a grand, right? 1,000. And the zeros on the back bear a resemblance to watermelons.
A strong resemblance to watermelons, yes.
Very strong. So only 2 of these notes are known today.
Wow.
So, it's like, I think we did another story on PCGS banknote because they did another really big, rare note.
I feel like it might have not been another one of these. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's only 2. So
yeah. Maybe they got rated both of them. Good for them.
Maybe. The Royal Australian Mint has released a 7-coin AC/DC anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
The coins mark 45 years since the release of AC/DC's debut album, High Voltage. Coins feature the 6 album cover art images, are legal tender, colorized, although they call them colored, and I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that term, and will be sold individually as well with a suggested retail of $15 each Australian.
That's kind of cool. I mean, the Australia doesn't have much going for it. So, I mean, like besides Olympic swimmers and AC/DC, what else is there? Kangaroos and deadly snakes?
You've got all kinds of things. You got kangaroos and wombats and,
platypus rock and 18 different kinds of snakes that'll kill you. I mean,
Right. And that's a knife. All that kind of stuff.
Crocodile Dundee.
Right. So there is also a silver frosted uncirculated coin featuring Angus Young, the lead singer and lead guitarist, right? With a limited mintage of 30,000 coins that sells for $110 Australian.
Hey, get it while you can, Australia.
Well, here's the thing: is if you're like me and you think it odd that Australia makes AC/DC tribute coins, I think I find it more odd that they created the first AC/DC commemoratives in 2018.
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
So celebrate Brand's 45th anniversary. So 2 coins in 3 years, really?
Nice. So, hey, like I said, they don't, when the pool is small, you just pick what works.
We thought we were bad. NGC Ancients will auction a gold Eidmar next week.
Yeah, we talked about this. I know.
Well, we certainly talked about the silver Eidmar.
I think
and I don't remember if I told the show audience the story about the silver Eidmar, which is a super rare coin as well. But this coin makes that one look like it's common, and that one sold for over 300 grand.
Yeah.
So only 2 examples of the gold Eidmar were known until now.
Amazing.
The first is in the Deutsche Bank collection, and the second is in the British Museum. So this coin is one of the rarest ancient coins in existence, period, bar none, end of statement, full stop. And possibly the most famous because of its subject.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So the Eidmar, I'm going to tell the story again if I haven't told it anyway. So when I interviewed at Harlan J. Burke, it was the day that Aaron was getting ready to bid on the silver Eidmar for his customer.
I remember this because I was actually talking to Aaron that day.
Yeah, and I was in the interview with him, and we were talking about it. And it's just one of those things where, he ended up winning the coin and got it for his customer, was very, very happy with it. But I just kind of remember it as that was, actually during my actual interview at the current job that I have. So
very cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
So this one is gold. And so it's one of 3. NGC has described the coin as 5 out of 5 strike, 3 out of 5 surface, and fine style designation, which has to do with the detail of the coin. It is a really cool coin and one that has an awesome story.
Yeah. Beware of the Ides of March.
Yes, the oracle said, "Beware the Ides of March," and the symbolism that is even, it connects it to our coinage, because what did we use as a symbol of freedom on liberty? A Phrygian cap, right?
Yep.
On this coin is a Phrygian cap and 2 daggers. So it's saying that Rome was liberated by daggers.
Yep.
On the Ides of March.
It's pretty cool. It's very, very historical. And that's the thing.
We have Brutus, who is the first person to be depicted on a coin.
Et tu, Brute.
Et tu, Brute.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty flippin' cool.
Yeah, this isn't the nut. And finally in the news, Stack's Bowers will auction a bronze 43 Lincoln cent in November this year.
Nice.
The coin was struck at Philadelphia, which I believe is the most plentiful of the mints for these coins at 20 examples. They're well valued in all grades, however, and they tend to be well struck, as the steel planchets required, greater strike pressure to manufacture. So when the copper planchet went in there, it was like wham! Really
hammered. Got hammered.
Yeah. So the coin at auction has been certified by NGC as genuine. I believe that it did not straight grade, because there's no details of any grade in the article.
I think it's been cleaned. I think they designated it cleaned.
Well, yeah, it says that it has a light cleaning that NGC noted, but that says to me, it says details cleaned.
Details cleaned. Yep.
I'd still take it.
Oh, all day. All day, all night. And then the end of the next day, I'm taking it.
Twice on Sunday.
That's right.
Absolutely. So that was the news. And the news is brought to us by trash cans, quite possibly the most positive item in the world, taking all your garbage year after year, never saying a word, and after all that, it's a trash can, not a trash can't. Let that be an example for everyone, trash cans.
I love that.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
Woo!
Clay Harlan told us to stop it. He's Australian.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally offended you then. I am so very sorry, mate.
He's laughing.
Jeez.
Let's see over. Aussie, oi. So, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, good time.
Let's see. Do we have any questions in the mail?
Let's see if my new chat function works. I built this today to bring up the chat on the show. Let's see. Oh, it's ready. So let's see if next messages start popping through. If you want to check the email, I will peep over here to the live stream chats and see what's going on.
There's a lot going on over there, too.
I do. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Let me see what we got.
So let's see. Somebody wants to do our SEO as always. So Kent writes to us and says, "Hi, Matt and Mike. I apologize if this has been discussed or researched before, but are there records for the amount of 1849 $1 gold coins that used gold from Sutter's Mill in the California Gold Rush? And then what about subsequent years or other denominations, particularly the 1849 20? Since this event spawned the 2 new denominations, some kind of breakdown of where the gold used in Philadelphia at that time and other interesting time periods was sourced from would be interesting, or from where it was sourced from would be interesting to learn about. I don't think the same info for the branch mint facilities would be quite as interesting."
The answer,
so I think he's referring to the coins that came after the ones that had Cal stamped on the back.
Yeah, I mean, he's referring to the gold $1 coins, the 1849s, which, obviously the majority of those use gold from California. I think the question, though, was, is there any way to trace which ones were struck with gold that was from the original find at Sutter's Mill?
Right. Are there records for the amount of it that was used?
I probably.
I would guess if you go back, there has to be assay records that, any assay records would note who it came in from.
Yeah, I mean, the assay offices would have those records. Do they still exist? Don't know.
That's hard to say.
So the answer is potentially, but I'm not sure that it's known.
The good news on it is that the San Francisco Mint still exists.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's something in your favor.
Yeah. I mean, the answer is the data is probably out there, but has it ever been researched and put together? Probably not that I've ever heard of. But I've also not looked into it very deeply, so it may be just a well-known thing. But the answer that I can think of is probably not. Not easily. Let's see here. We got one in the chat. It says, I'm thinking of purchasing an MS Morgan CC dollar. Any thoughts before I start my search? Where to search in any years I should consider. Budget is about $1,600. Okay, so that puts you above the kind of the generic CC, the 82, the 83, the 84. It even puts you, above the 81, the 85, the 78. Those can all be done for that budget in higher grade, of course. But that kind of starts getting you into a really nice example of some of the better dates.
Yeah. For $1,600, you can actually start to look at some of the nicer CC dollars.
Yeah, I mean, that budget is kind of cost prohibitive for like an 89 Carson City. You could get like a nice mid-grade circulating coin for that budget. But all the other dates you can get either AU or uncirculated or really, really nice uncirculated examples. So, I mean, it really depends on what tickles your fancy, whether it's rarity, whether it's having the rare coin, or whether it's having a really, really high-grade coin of a much more common coin. So that's kind of the two paths you have to choose, and we can't choose that one for you, unfortunately, my friend. So
that one is the red pill or the blue pill.
Pretty much. So, I mean, if you want a really, really nice high-grade example, then stick with those common dates and just go for like a 6. Go for a 66 or a 65 plus. Those are probably still in that price range, I feel. And, yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We have some other ones. Let's see. 75th anniversary of World War II gold coin. Worth it?
75th anniversary. Is that the command? Like the $5?
So, what they're going to do is they're going to put a preview mark on the proof silver and gold eagles this year. And sell them. I think it's a separate coin from what they've already minted. So this is going to be, a proof gold eagle with a 75th anniversary of World War II preview mark on it.
Sounds kind of cash grabby to me. I would stay away from it.
Yeah, it sounds very gimmicky, and it's not gimmicky in a cool or fun sort of way. It's just an extra mark.
Right. Very, very small mark on a very, very common coin that they've made a bunch of.
Very common coin that they've definitely overcharged for.
Right. There's another one in the chat here. It says, do you expect world coins to increase in value as we move towards a more global economy and other countries, not the USA's, economies grow and their citizens want to collect their heritage? I mean, I guess I'm not sure what's stopping them from doing that now. As people want to collect their heritage anyways, their countries have coinage. If you move to if we see another currency pop up like the euro, I'm just not sure maybe even how much that the euro inspired people to go out and collect their former country, their former currency over the euro. So I don't see a huge influx of people collecting for that reason. There might be some, but not very many, I don't think. I don't ever remember reading anything about it. Do you?
Well, here's my opinion on it, is that, I don't think it'll have as much to do with the global economy as much as it will have to do with the global proximity. So as people travel and are able to travel around the world more easily, more quickly, and it becomes more of a part of their lives, that might spawn the collecting of the different,
It's possible. I think his collection was meant to maybe ask, though, like if people living in those countries are wanting to, is it causing more people in those countries to want to collect? Now I know, there was a big thing in Asia, in China especially, where they really got hot to trot on collecting their heritage and repatriating a lot of coins back to China. especially modern issue stuff here in the last 10 or 15 years. The problem was a lot of that stuff was never released in China in the first place. So that's why they wanted to repatriate a lot of it, because it was made for export. It was made for sales in the United States, in other places around the world, and really was not available in China. So now that these people in China see this stuff that they couldn't have bought, they couldn't have purchased, they really want it, so they're bringing it back home. I'm just not sure. I mean, it's possible, yes, but...
Sure, but, okay, I think, when he talked about when he asked about a more global economy, I think what he was saying is that, okay, so for example, in, Europe, where you have the euro, right, is this spawning people, in Italy to collect old Italian coinage? Is it spawning people in France to collect old French coinage? And will this in general, spawn them? That was kind of how I read it.
Right. I think that's probably pretty much the gist of it. I just don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
Well, if that's his question, then I would think that as more of the currencies, like the common currencies, like the euro, evolve, maybe that'll happen.
Right. Yeah. Let's see.
He also asked, I have $2,500 to spend it with like a piece of Dahlonega gold. Can you get a piece of Dahlonega gold for $2,500?
Yeah, there's some. I would save up a little more, though, and buy a little bit nicer piece. In that kind of range, it's going to be either a lower grade piece or a problem piece. And, I mean, honestly, if you really want a nice Dahlonega piece, just save up a little more money. Between like 35 and 45, you can pick up a nice piece.
Okay.
So a nice piece that will do you well in the future, and you won't have to worry about so much. I always worry about that low grade or problem stuff just because it's flavor of the day. Sometimes I really don't mind it, and other times in the market it makes it really hard to sell. So
yeah.
Let's see.
Love Mo said start grading hubcaps.
About the other ones?
Yeah. Well, about the Giant and GC. I said sewer covers next. He's like hubcaps. We were talking about buying the silver-proof sets during the news, and Alex Toby said that he bought some and he sent them back.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean that happens. It's they just jumped. The price went up, and
I'll tell you, there's a video coming. When I opened up the boxes, I was disappointed with the quality of the coins.
Oh, mine, the little packs that had the nickels on them were just chucked in there.
Oh, well, that I didn't have a problem with. Yes, that's the way that they deliver them. The pennies were the same way last year.
I don't buy a lot of that modern stuff to notice it, but man.
Yeah, so, I mean, I will tell you that that's normal, but what I was disappointed with is open up the silver proof sets. Look at the obverse, not the reverse, the obverse of the penny, the nickel, and the dollar. And there's like a blue haze.
Oh, I did notice that on one of them. I did, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
Not for that kind of money.
All right.
The silver coins are spectacular. They're perfect. But the clad coins, it looks like they're going to be really cruddy in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
You can't replace it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, buddy. You got anything else?
Let's see. Yeah, I know you're anxious to get to their coolest things, as am I.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, and it's like, does anybody have any other questions? Let's see. 900.
You see you out there.
No, but we, you know what? It's really awesome to see everybody out there and everybody talking to us. That's
and talking to each other. I think that's even the more fun part when these guys start chatting with each other. Heck yeah, that's what we're about. We're about spreading the knowledge, spreading the spreading the excitement about this. If you guys are excited, talk to each other. Interact. It's awesome. We love it. So
yeah. So on that front, there are some things brewing. In that there is a YouTuber that has been very kind to us.
Mm-hmm.
He's British. His name is Numismatics, and he has been mentioning us in his YouTube videos, which have over several thousand subscribers. So
nice.
He kind of threw us a bone by mentioning us in his YouTube videos, and he's been really kind. Well, him and I are working on trying to figure out some kind of a video guest swap.
A collab? You're working on a collab?
Yeah, and have him come and join us maybe for a little bit and talk about some of the British coins and things like that he does.
That'd be awesome.
Because he's talking about really super rare stuff, the auctions at Spink and stuff like that. So I just think it'd be really cool to kind of have him on.
Heck yeah. We'd have to do it earlier, though. I don't know what time it is in Great Britain right now, but I am almost
6 hours
certain.
ahead of us.
Yeah, so it's 1 in the morning.
5 hours ahead of you.
So it's 12:30 in the morning, 1 in the morning.
That'll change in another month, I think.
No, it's coming up soon, buddy. It's the day after Halloween.
Well, yeah, that's when the clocks change, and then I think the difference between us changes, doesn't it?
I don't know anything about that.
I know it's weird all over the world.
Heck yeah.
It's always weird. So, whatever.
But
daylight savings time is something that just
that's awesome. I like hearing about collaborations with other people that are just as passionate as you and I are about this stuff. So that's great to hear. I love it.
Yeah, when you can find somebody that's as passionate about it as you and I are, then by all means.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, you ready to jump into this one, buddy?
All right. Anyway, so before we do that, I have some news to talk about. I have some business to take care of.
Some official business. All right.
Some official business. So you will notice that my hair is pink.
No, I didn't notice.
In all of its glory. Oh. And, we didn't do this for nothing. So we have chosen to donate all of our Patreon donations this month. So anybody that donates, www.patreon.com/thecoinshow. All your donations will be matched by Matt, and we will then give it to MetaViver.org. MetaViver is a charity that is dedicated to the absolute wiping out of metastatic breast cancer, which has a current survival rate of 2%. So it's absolutely just horrible. And to be really honest with you, I personally have been kind of upset with the way that some corporations have kind of jumped on the whole breast cancer thing, sold more product and given a portion of it. I don't think that's right. MetaViver actually takes all of their proceeds and gives them to research, all of it. So there's no overhead. It's all volunteer, all that stuff. So it's metaviver.org. So you can go to patreon.com/thecoinshow, and you can make a donation there, a one-time donation. You can become a member there too, and you can get all sorts of cool things. Or you can send, us a check if you want to do that separately. If you want to do that, that's fine. You can email us for details, Mike@coinshowradio.com. You can do that. Or just write a check and send it yourself, metaviver.org. It doesn't matter that we send it in, that we get credit. All that matters is if people give. It's a wonderful, wonderful charity. And I think that they're doing some really good work. And by donating, we are doing that work as well.
Heck yeah.
And I'm really, really proud of what we've done this year. And it looks like we should be cutting them a 4-figure check.
Awesome. So, wait a minute. I'll still match. I'm matching.
Okay.
We're still there. I'm not broke yet. I'm not poor.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
I got to clear that with the wife, though.
Well, actually, I was just saying 4 figures, including yours.
Oh, well, then.
I was including your match. It's going to go over 4 figures. So
that's nice. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm happy to help.
There's been some private donations. People that have stopped in the store that have, have seen me and said, hey, what's with the pink hair? Some of them have been very generous and have said, hey, look, let me write you a check.
Nice. Speaking of in the store, didn't you?
My boss wrote us a check. He saw my hair. And what he said was, I color mine too. I just use brown. And so I wanted him to see it. So, he says to me, he says, well, do you want a donation? I was like, well, that's not why I'm up here. He's like, no, but do you want one? Well, yes, of course I do. So Harlan was very generous and cut us a check. And that was nice.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Now, the other thing I was going to mention here, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Didn't you just tell me a little while ago that you had your first fan come into the store that recognized you?
Okay, I don't know that I used those words. Yeah. I definitely don't know if that is really there are people that have listened to the show that have been in the store that have mentioned, yeah, I've heard your podcast.
Okay.
Now, I don't necessarily know that they really have.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But this one you did. This one you knew.
This one was absolutely. They walked in and he's like, oh, hey, Mike, how you doing? So he looked at me and knew who I was, and his mom looked at me and said, "Wow, that's really pink." It looked so orange in the video, and then
oh yes,
I knew, okay, they've seen it.
Love it. That's amazing.
Yeah, we did a little light adjustment today and color correction. So,
yeah, that is hot pink, buddy. Ooh.
Highlighter pink. That's what I said. That's what I promised. I delivered.
Yes, I agree.
Over promise, under promise, over deliver.
I was going to say you're doing that one backwards.
Yeah, under promise, over deliver.
All right, let's check out everybody's stuff. Let's quit BSing. Let's quit stalling. I'm going to pull this up. So if you guys aren't in the group yet, Friends of the Coin Show Podcast is our private group that you guys can hop in, and unlike the pages, they don't filter anything that we post. So you can see everything that gets posted. All of our people that like to interact with each other, having a good time here in the chats, join the group. There's almost 1,000 people in this group. Everybody gets in there, posts questions about coins, talks about coins all the time. But that is also where we post up our request for the coolest thing that you guys came up with. So let's take a look.
So I want to add that we. I'm good. So
I was waiting on you were mid-sentence there, and then you just stopped. And
I got derailed because I had a point, and then it's like I thought about what you said. You probably said it.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Well, first up, friend and helper and just all around awesome fellow Barry Swan was asking us the other day about picking up a piece of encased postage, and looks like he got himself one. He got himself an Air Sarsaparilla, 1 cent. One of the more common types, but super cool pieces. I really like these.
Well, here, look at this though. The mica is absolutely perfect on it.
Yeah, and that's the hard part to find.
Barry said he looked for a long time for this.
Yeah, you have to. The mica is hard because they didn't cover these stamps with plastic. They covered them with a little bitty thin sheet of mica, and a lot of the times these things, as they circulated, got banged around and broke. It is not.
Cracked. It's just. Like a crystal on a watch almost.
Yeah, during the Civil War, they put these out because there was a shortage of small coin, and so they put these out. Some companies use them as advertising, as did this Air Sarsaparilla company. And then because they were issued by the government, still worth a cent, people accepted them as cents. So it was kind of an interesting, necessity is the mother of invention type thing.
Yeah, they were actual U.S. government issues, so they were safe to use as money. You just had to kind of give them a format in which people could use them.
Right.
So they encased them, and it worked really well.
Looks like Isaiah Hageman shows up.
That's our slab guy. Isaiah Hageman.
Slab guru.
Yep, the slab guru. He bought an 1883 cc from the GSA.
It's got some pretty toning. I like it.
That's really pretty toning on it.
MS64 CAC, it looks like, from NGC.
Yeah. Yes, it's CAC'd.
Pretty coin. I'll let you go ahead and hop into the next one here.
Michael Caudle made my Liberia Brexit coin, and I like this coin. I think this is really cool. The coin is it's grooved in the middle.
Yeah.
So you can break it in half as a symbol of Britain's withdrawal from the EU. And as you can see, this one is not broken off because they just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Well, it's certified Proof 70 by NGC, so that probably helps.
That was my bust on Great Britain. I'm sorry. So, yeah, this one is Proof 70. I seriously, he said, I won't be breaking this one. But what I wonder is, could you send a broken half, and what would it grade?
I mean, God, I don't know.
I mean, would NGC grade it?
I mean, you pay them enough to grade most things.
I mean, the coin is made to be separated.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Jeff. Jeff says, my pursuit of monster tone coins. 3-cent silvers have some awesome ones. Here is my newest, though. The best money spent in this hobby is the $5 extra for True Views. Yep, I agree with that. They truly bring out the best in coins. Wow, look at this coin, Mike.
Well, especially the toned ones. You know, true view. If you have a white coin, I've seen other photos that really do them justice. But when you have monster toning like this, you just can't capture it like that. And there's been criticism that maybe that do the coins live up to their pictures? Because the pictures look that spectacular.
That's the thing with taking. Sometimes you take pictures that are too good, and that happens. Let's see. Next up, Nicholas has an 1819 cat bust quarter. I love cat bust quarters.
Yeah, and he's right. You see a lot of the halves, but the quarters are a bit, they made less of them. They made them in fewer years.
And that one's cool, too, because if you look down at the bottom, you see the recut 5 and 25 cents. Just an interesting little tidbit I see. But cool coin.
Yes, absolutely recut. That is cool.
All right. I'll let you, Mr. Harlan J. Burke, take the ancient coin here.
In 215, Caracalla introduced the Antonianus. It's Antonianus. It's not Antonianus. That's something different. That's a disease, which is supposed to be a double denarius, but naturally didn't have twice the silver. So you can tell an Antoninarius.
Oh, you're getting made fun of at work tomorrow or Monday.
Yeah. Well, look, trust me, he'll let me know. You can tell that from the denarius as the emperor has radiate or spiky crown, or an empress is the bust. The bust sits on a crescent moon. So this example is from 217 and shows Serapis standing left wearing polos. Oh, he's wearing a polo.
Nice.
And holding wreath of corn ears and a scepter.
Yeah, don't mess with me. I'll slap you with some corn.
Yeah.
Cool.
You ever been hit with corn?
Not that I can remember.
From Indiana, I would expect it.
Yeah, well, in Indiana, everywhere you walk, you just get slapped in the face with corn. I mean, come on, Mike. You know how it works.
We get hit with the same thing. Soybeans.
Well, you're in Chicago. It's mostly bullets up there, but... Sorry. Chirac joke. My fault.
Yeah.
I'll go on to the next one here.
Stuart Dupay, nicest standing Liberty quarter I have ever seen.
It's pretty. They're pretty coins. That if anybody ever mentions that orange peel surface, just look at the back of this coin, and this is exactly what they're talking about. This early teen series surfaces on this stuff have what's called an orange peel look, and it looks like the peel of an orange. For a long time when I was a kid, I always was asking myself, what the heck are they talking about orange peels for? What is that? And then I figured it out. It's the surface of these things. It's just the way that field looks.
It appears to be an etch of sorts, and it's just a surface treatment that didn't last very long, and it's very common on Lincoln cents and other coins of this era.
Yep. Let's see. Corey, Grand Army of the Republic souvenir token from the 42nd Encampment, located in Toledo, Ohio in 1908. Encampment was to commemorate the Civil War soldiers, many of whom were in their 60s in this time frame. Parades and festivities were held in Toledo over a week time frame in 1908. His limited research shows that this was originally attached to a ribbon so it could be worn. The mount has been removed, hence the details grade. Cool.
No, better that than a hole, right?
Well, right, sure. Oh, wow, look at the back of this thing. The front's cool, but I like the back. It's got an eagle standing on a shield with the American flags. Yeah, that's cool. Super cool.
Okay, so the symbolism on this kind of gets me a little bit, though. So is the eagle standing on the shield and the shield pinning down the flag on the ground?
I think they're all just kind of floating, it looks like. I don't know.
He's surfing on it. He's surfing on the thing.
If you look at the poles of the flags, they have the little cords draped over them that are hanging down. Hanging down.
You're right. So these are flying.
I think the eagle
he's just surfing that. He's just surfing the shield.
I think the eagle just swooped. Oh, and he also posted a picture of a small, very very small picture, but it looks like a picture of the parades that were going on.
Yeah, the Grand Army of the Republic. That was, a lot of the stuff back then was of the Republic.
Yes.
I remember seeing a national banknote that was the Bank of the Republic of Chicago, Illinois. So it took me for a second because I was like, wow, the Republic of Chicago, Illinois?
That was a thing?
No, it's the Bank of the Republic that was located in Chicago, Illinois.
Huh. Well, here, let's check this one out. Next up, we have a 1925 Norse American medal from Dave. They issued these in thick and thin versions. This is the thin version. This is the commemorative half that never was.
What do you mean?
I believe there was some push to make these actually half dollars during that period of commemorative half dollars, and I can't remember why, but for whatever reason, these coins never came out as half dollars. They were just issued as medals.
Yeah, it's an octagonal medal too.
Yeah, made it to the U.S. Mint, made by the U.S. Mint. So, super cool piece.
I've never seen before. Joe Bohannon just picked up this Barber half in an auction for a steal. 1892. Philadelphia. It's got really, really nice toning.
It does.
Looks to be sliderish.
Yeah, it's like a 55, 53, 55-ish. It's got a little wear in the hair. Wouldn't necessarily call it a slider, but it's close. It's a pretty coin.
Well, I said ish.
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 All right. Tyler has an Arizona Commemorative Territory Centennial. It's a medal of some sort. Huh.
Well, it's a Arizona Commemorative Centennial, which let's see, this must have come out in 2012.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that 1912 is probably the year that Arizona became a state.
That was the year that Arizona was admitted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew Pitcher.
Oh, he posted here. He posted the other side of it here.
Oh.
1863 to 1963. Okay, so
that was when Arizona became a territory. So it was the 100th anniversary of the territory. Centennial.
Gotcha. I was a little confused there for a second. There are 3 dates on this thing. What the heck's going on?
That wasn't Tyler's fault, though.
No, not at all.
Andrew Pitcher, my BEP produced test note. These were printed in the early 70s to test a new overprinting equipment. He believes that only 400 of the original 1,000 that they made have survived.
You know, it doesn't look like much, but it is pretty cool because, I have seen stuff like this before. They made a lot of cool stuff like this. They have to test their machines.
Like a Mint serial or like a Fed serial number.
It's like a pattern, kind of. They have to test the new technology. They have to kind of, make mock-ups as to what it's going to look like, what it's going to look like in use, what it's going to look like. Even sometimes they would make coins to test things like washes and how they would wear over time. They do all sorts of stuff to coins and currency. So,
some of the more famous notes were made in World War II. The silver certificates with the R and the S that are experimental paper.
Yeah, that was a very big experiment because they actually put them out and let them get real circulation to see how they did. Old Stevie Schubert here, I know that guy. Stevie Schubert picked himself up a Continental 1/3 of a dollar. These are cool pieces. Put out in Philadelphia in 1776. You'll notice some very interesting symbolism that's used on this particular piece that might remind you of a coin or colonial
specific coin.
Yes, colonial copper coin that was put out because the Fugio cent has the mind your business with the rays and the
we are one on the back and
sundial, and then the other side of this piece has the rings
linked together.
Yep. So basically, these things
actually being translated into the chain cent. The concept.
So a lot of cool symbolism on this piece from early American history, and the symbolism was definitely something they used a lot more of back then than they do today. It was understood, a lot more back then as well. Today, people don't quite get it as much, just simply because it's so much easier to convey information across the internet. And these people, some people in this time frame of United States never left within 10 miles of their home. So, to see this kind of stuff floating around, definitely the symbolism was understood.
Yeah, the internet definitely wrecked everything.
Totally wrecked everything.
Totally wrecked everything. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Mark Shore says, recently got this 1830 halftime. I love halftimes.
I do too. it's a shame that the market's kind of soft on them because they're so small, but I like them a lot.
I don't think it's a shame that the market is soft. That means that you can pick up bargains.
Well, that's true. I don't disagree with you. But...
hopefully the market will improve.
Uh-oh. Your boss man's up here.
Yes,
posting on our group.
Yeah. So here you go. Here is a Julius Caesar denarius, which was minted in 44 BC at 2 Brute.
Not nearly as rare.
No, and doesn't actually have Caesar on it. But this was the coin of the realm, you know, when he was in charge. And
yep. Nicholas Hutzel posted up an interesting looking coin. 1898 $0 in old PCI MS62 holder with some really pretty color.
This one looks to be one of the, not the original PCI holders, but the second generation PCI holder.
Yeah, it may. I don't know. I'll defer to somebody else on that one. I don't know the generations of PCI holders. Where's Isaiah when we need him?
Yeah, it's like you look at the print on the back near the barcode, and if it's really super sharp, it's a first generation, and then it gets progressively fuzzier, I think, in the subsequent generations.
And PCI holders are actually kind of notorious for toning coins. Something they use in their holders cause coins to get a very distinct type of toning. And I suspect that maybe what we're looking at here, a lot of times you have to kind of grab that stuff in your hand to be for sure. But PCI toning started off really, really gold around the edges and kind of progressed towards the center.
Think about this. Here's a theory. I'm just going to put a conspiracy theory out there.
Oh boy, here he comes.
You know, think about if they used a particular, you know, like an air blower to clean off the coins. And it ended up toning the coin.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's possible. I think, they're not airtight most of the time. So
no.
So it's got to be something in there with it, whether it's the insert or the label or the plastic.
And since it's so consistent with, maybe it's the whites, maybe it's the stuff chemical in the white.
In the insert, yeah, it's hard to say. You just never know, but something definitely. It's very well known that these holders did this.
Yeah, and it's definitely them because it happens on a lot of their coins.
Yep. Oh, cool. This next coin's pretty neat.
Probably my favorite of the entire round.
Sorry, Andrew Edelman posted a 2000p Sacagawea dollar in a PCGS AG3 slab.
I believe that would be the low ball, wouldn't it?
That is... I am going to assume that he's correct when he said that this is the lowest one graded. And wow, look at that thing. He posted some really nice big pictures too. So
yeah, the pictures are spectacular. It's like you can barely see the date. You can make out that it has a 0 at the end.
Look at the back. Like, where'd the bird go?
You know, now, I mean, there's a lot of hairlines on this coin.
It's hard to say. I mean, that definitely
was kind of a blessing.
That definitely is a problem with this lowball thing. There are people that are mechanically making coins lowballs. I'm not sure that's the case with this one. It's hard to say again without having the coin in my hand.
Right. But that's just my impression. But I mean, look at when you look at the coin from more of a distance, you know, when you're not blowing it up 85
times. Yeah, and that very well could be, those hairlines could be much less, pronounced in hand. But PCGS certified it, and they're usually pretty picky about these things. So I'm going to go with it actually is, a coin that just rode around somewhere insane for a while and got worn down. Let's see. J.R. Preston. Hi, Mike and Matt. I love the show. Hey, thanks. So as you know, I collect airs. Back in 2012, I was bartending a karaoke night in a local pub. All right, I'm in. Sounds fun. Some drunk paid with this 20, and I was lucky enough to be there and bought this for face value. Year of the note is 1974, in pristine condition. Cool.
Yeah.
This is
20.
Yeah.
This is
an offset transfer is what they call these. I I forget if this comes from the note being wet underneath it or from some other process.
No, I think you're right. I think it does come from them setting it down on top of a sheet of wet notes.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not. I am by far. I am the first to admit I am definitely not an error note expert.
Me neither. Or do we play one on TV or YouTube?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
That would be correct.
You can go ahead and grab the next one if you want, buddy. All right.
J.R. Preston said he forgot about this one. He bought this 22 no D Wheatie last year. It's low grade, but a nice specimen for a collection. Low graded at VF 25. You know what? I've seen lower.
I've had lower recently. That's a mid grade for those suckers.
That is definitely mid grade. It's a very nice coin. Old PCGS holder.
Yep.
Strong reverse, which is the one worth having.
Yep.
Joshua Steele, 2013 reverse proof Buffalo.
Those are cool. I've always liked the Buffaloes.
Aren't those the only reverse proofs they made?
Why are you asking me? Like I know about modern stuff.
Like you would know, like you would care.
Right. I do know about this next one though.
Now, the next one you do know about, and it's modern.
Yeah, because it's actually, throwback. It's like a throwback jersey, but with coins. This is a Jose Lopez 2009 Ultra High Relief Double Eagle. The diameter is smaller, but the thickness is bigger. My prized possession. I like these things. They're cool.
Yeah, they were. When they originally struck these, didn't they make them from two $10 blanks put together? They didn't really see. How do I want to put it? They weren't able to, or it's not that they weren't able to. They didn't need to attach the blanks. They just put them in the coining chamber together, and the pressure put them together and made them doubly thick, high relief 20s.
I never knew that.
I believe that to be the case. I may be completely imagining that, but I don't think so.
Well, if he is, it's Mike at coinshowradio.com for hate mail.
Absolutely. Yep. Send your hate mail to me. I'll take it.
Yep.
But yeah, so this one is kind of made from that. Is made from a doubly thick.
They're super duper thick.
Ounce size. Yeah.
They're super duper thick.
Yeah, so they're smaller, but they're really cool, and the relief in these is really deep.
All right.
So this one made finalist for my favorite of this entire segment.
Chad Martin posted, mine has to be a $3 MS64 1878 gold piece he got from Andrew Edelman. I love a nice Mint State 3. Those are super cool coins.
This one's a 4.
No, it's a $3 gold piece.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't dealer talking there. I've always been a fan of $3 gold pieces. That Indian Princess design on the obverse is one of my favorites, and so to see that in the largest way that it was used on our coinage, pretty cool coins.
And this one has the same reverse as the Flying Eagle sent.
Yep.
That long anchor reverse. It's just they're nice coins.
Jennifer posted 1935 short snorter dated 11/14/1942 USMC.
So this was a Marine Corps short snorter, which I love the concept behind these.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I've actually had fun researching these over the years because, if you guys listen to this show for a while, you know that I also collect military stuff. And
explain, because Jeff Fichtelman asked, why are they called short snorters?
Oh, I didn't even pull that up yet. The name itself, I'm not quite sure where the name came from. I know that they were, you would get all your buddies together and you would each sign notes and pass them around. Sometimes they would be notes from where you were at the time. Sometimes you would collect notes, on your trip and kind of put them together in these big rolls, which are really cool. And Barry said that, and this is the common thing that I've heard, is he said that it's because if you don't have it on you at a reunion, you have to buy a round of drinks. I'm not sure that's the...
Well, actually, according to Google, the word snort is derived from a slang for a stiff drink, and a short is less than a full measure. So when servicemen were out drinking, they challenged each other to produce their short snorters.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. I mean,
I think they're just really cool memories and mementos of where they've been and the people they've been with, a lot of which didn't make it back.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So, therein lies the really cool part about short snorters. I remember on Coin Talk, we did a short snorter in like 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And we took a large size one and we passed it around. There's like 40 people that had this note and signed it and passed it on to the next person. And then we auctioned it.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
That was a cool note. So, yeah.
Frank Burns posted an 1875 trade dollar. Looks like a nice, well-worn example, but definitely looks like a genuine piece. Definitely did its job and circulated heavily. So, cool coin, Frank. Appreciate you posting it.
No chop marks, but that one actually looks good.
Yeah, looks like it didn't spend any time in Asia, so that's good to hear. I'll let you. I'm just trying to jump back and forth with everybody.
Tyler sends a picture of. I remember you guys talking on the podcast about the statehood quarter program. So he's been listening for a long time, and how the design chosen by the people of the state was not always the one minted. I remembered that I had an example of such deception. The design chosen by the people of California was called a golden moment, and they had 200 pieces struck depicting the design chosen by the people of designer sculptor David Biagini.
Huh. So they actually struck some from the design that they wanted.
Round.
In a half-ounce silver round.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that's
that was the design that people chose.
The people chose, but the government went with something else. Gotcha.
So here's what they said happened.
Yes.
Let's see. It says evidence has been uncovered revealing that the circulating California quarter will be a long-lived token to a criminal act. So yeah, it's the person surrounded by beauties of California is a miner for dreams coming true, and that miner represents anyone and everyone.
Huh.
Go west, young man.
Go west. Interesting.
Joseph Horstman, my coolest thing, purchased at a Tulsa coin show in September.
Ooh, $1,795.
Very cool. Now it says graffiti, but it's got to be on the reverse.
A lot of those coins got little bits of graffiti. I'm not sure why those big dollars always some reason people just tended to carve on them. I've had, probably a dozen of them over the years that somebody's carved something on, or just put one letter or a couple of initials or just an X. I don't.
Yeah, my brother had one with 3 initials on it, and the coin had a really, really good strike. I mean, it was probably XF details, AU details.
The graffiti on them is never ever very elaborate. It's really strange. I wish I knew why.
But the funny thing is that he bought it, and somebody discounted it because of the initials on it, and wrongly so, because everybody that looked at it after that offered him way more money for it.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, the market definitely doesn't care about the graffiti.
And it looks like last but not least, we have Spencer here.
Oh, there is a picture of the reverse.
I pulled it up. It was up.
Okay. I just don't see the graffiti.
I think it's probably with that mark on the face there. It's hard to see in the pictures. It could be down here on the neck. It's hard to say. This is always hard to do with pictures, but
that's true.
But yeah, it's still a really nice looking coin. I love those things. Looks like last but not least, Spencer. My coolest thing came back from PCGS and MS65. So it looks like looks like I can't blow up the picture. Facebook is giving me problems.
The Saint?
Yeah. Let me try again. Nope. Facebook is giving me problems. Looks like a 1914, maybe with the mint mark Saint. Sorry, Spencer. I know you wanted to participate.
Spencer what?
I'm sorry?
What's his name? Spencer what?
Petry, Petry.
He came into my shop this week.
Ah, there you go. So that's Spencer. Is that the guy?
Spencer. Yes, that's the guy.
That's the guy. Cool.
Yeah, he came into the shop this week.
Well, friends, that was it. I love this segment. You guys posted some awesome stuff.
That is probably my favorite of all the.
Keep it coming. Not next live show, but the one after. So in a month from now, guys, we'll do this again. That means go out, buy more stuff, find more cool stuff, and we will have another post just like this. You can post it, and we will look at it on the show. So thank you guys very much.
Silver Guy.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
Sorry, bud, got a little overzealous on that one.
It's okay.
I was just kind of looking back at the chat, and I was going to say that the Silver Guy, said that Silver Stacker is the real deal, and
nice.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I'm glad that people get into the chat and that they're here. Our man Steve Vesely is here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. If you can't make the live shows, that's great. This still goes out just like it always used to in the old-fashioned form on the on Apple and all those other ways as well. So it's we're just growing and learning, and boy, I'm sure glad your audio sounds better this episode.
We have been promising people that we would fix it.
I think we finally got it fixed, because when we first got together tonight, it was a little crunchy, and within about 30 seconds, we had it sorted out. So,
yeah, I think the learning curve is flattening.
Yes, hopefully. Well, sir, anything else you want to talk about before we?
No, we've been going on for over an hour. You realize that?
Holy cow! No, I don't ever keep track of time when we get together.
Well, I don't either, because it just kind of goes. I mean, I just look from a standpoint of, have we given them their money's worth?
Well, it's free, so.
Okay, so there's that. But so let's see. So please, everybody, go to metaviver.org, make a donation, or go to our patreon.com /The Coin Show and make a donation that way. It's really a great cause, and our donation's only going on for a couple more weeks. Well, for another week, another 8 days, and
then we'll quit bugging you about it. We promise. And Mike's going to dye his hair back to.
We are not commercial in many ways. We did this just for grins and for fun and to do something good, and now we got the colors straightened out. You can see it.
I tell you what, that is still one of the more, of all these years I've known you, one of the more amazing things I've ever seen. You screwed your camera up; it was so bright. Good Lord. Wow,
I'm going to tell you something. Out of all the reactions that I've gotten from people, I've only gotten one that disappointed me. Only one, and it was somebody I knew. It's somebody who's older. He's a retired Marine, so yeah, whatever. And he's also a retired Teamster, and so him and I we're Teamsters, and that's how we got to know each other. And he looks at me, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm raising money for charity." Because, yeah, but what are you doing? I said, "Dan, I'm raising money for charity for breast cancer awareness." And he's like, "Where's your dress?" And I looked at him and said, "It's at home. I can't bowl when I'm wearing a skirt."
Oh, man.
Yes. So.
Well, I couldn't do it. I tried to. I tried to clear it with the wife, and she said, no way.
Veto.
Yep. So I tried. I'm glad your wife is more awesome than mine.
Other than that, the reaction has been unbelievably supportive. It's like I'll be just kind of walking someplace and somebody will like, "Hey, I like your hair." I told you about the homeless guy on the corner. That was the best.
What was it again?
Okay, so all I've ever heard him do is yell, "Can somebody help me?" And he's got a cup, and he keeps on going back and forth like this. He's like, "Can somebody help me? Can somebody help me?" And I walk past him, and he goes, "Can somebody help me? Love your hair, bro. Can somebody help me?" I passed this guy for 5 months on the streets, and all I've ever heard him say is, "Can somebody help me?" And he looked at me, and he goes, "Love your hair, bro."
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Well,
this is transcendent. This is
You're doing good things, Mike Nodelman, and we all appreciate you.
You're doing good things. You're doing good things too, Charlie Brown.
We're trying. We're trying there, Pinky. All right. Thanks, guys. Get out of here.
You've been listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman. The boys will be back soon with another informative and entertaining episode. Meanwhile, you can follow the show on social media at The Coin Show, on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Coin Show. You can also join their private group. Just search Facebook groups for Friends of the Coin Show and request access. But if you want to take it to the next level and support the Coin Show podcast, you can go to www.patreon.com/The Coin Show. If you subscribe at the $5 a month level or higher, you'll have access to Not the Coin Show podcasts on the off weeks, as well as other surprises reserved for our patrons. Visit our website at coinshowradio.com or download our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. This has been the Coin Show Podcast.